Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful guide for traders who feel like they're just burning out. We're going to diagnose that cycle of failure and, more importantly, lay out a disciplined, step-by-step path to turn all those ashes back into success. So we're kicking things off with this incredibly stark image because, let's be honest, it captures a feeling that a lot of traders know way too well. It's that destructive cycle where it feels like you are literally setting fire to everything you've built, not just your account, but your confidence and your passion too.
Okay, first up, let's really dig into this painful cycle, what the source calls the cycle of ashes, so we can understand the root of the problem we're trying to solve here.
So what's fueling this? It's all about impulsiveness. You know the feeling. Chasing a price move, throwing your own rules right out the window, and then bam, you get burned financially. And with every single loss, that scar tissue builds up, and it's damaging a lot more than just your account. It's wrecking your whole mindset.
So what is really going on during this cycle? Well, here's the crucial insight. Repeated trading losses are almost never a strategy problem. Nope. Instead, they're symptoms of deeper character flaws that the market just mercilessly exposes.
In this slide, this really lays out the fundamental choice every single trader has to make. On the left, you've got impulsive trading, which is basically just gambling on a whim. On the right, you have professional model-based trading, patiently waiting for a specific rule-based setup. One of these paths leads to chaos, the other leads to a process you can actually repeat.
And here they are. These are the real root causes. The market is like this giant magnifying glass for impatience, for ego, and for a lack of discipline. These are the internal flaws that cause us to self-sabotage, that lead us to believe we can do it our own way, even when that way is clearly, demonstrably failing.
You know, when you've got these internal flaws, it makes you a perfect target for external traps. And one of the most common ones out there is what's known as the funded account trap. So here's how the trap gets set. They promise you this big chunk of capital to trade with, but the reality is you have a teeny tiny maximum drawdown, sometimes as little as $3,000. But then comes the hook. And that hook is leverage, a ton of leverage. They'll tell you you're approved to trade up to 15 contracts. They just dangle this massive amount of firepower in front of you, and they know exactly what's going to happen next. And when that insane leverage and that tiny risk window inevitably cause you to fail, hey, no problem. It's just a small fee to reset, maybe $99, and so you try again, and again, and again.
And that's how the trap works. The entire structure is built to prey on your impatience. It encourages you to over-leverage to make it back quick, which just leads to another failure, which, you guessed it, leads to another reset fee. According to the source, these systems are designed to fleece you.
And this feeling of being trapped, it is absolutely real. This quote is actually from the speaker's own son, and it perfectly describes that psychological claustrophobia that these unrealistic parameters create. It's designed to make you feel completely cornered.
Okay, so that's the problem. We've diagnosed it. So what's the solution? Well, it all comes down to one thing. The path from ashes to beauty is paved with discipline.
And here is your roadmap out. It starts by taking emotion out of the equation. You adopt a proven, rule-based model, and this is the hard part, you follow it without any deviation. Then you have to master your own psychology and shift your entire focus away from the payout and onto the flawless execution of the process itself.
The analogy here is just so powerful. Think about it. A surgeon doesn't learn their craft on a live patient, right? No, they practice on a cadaver. Traders have to do the same thing. You master your craft in a demo account where you can't cause real financial harm long before you ever risk real capital.
So now we get to the single most important tactical change that a trader can make to turn the odds completely back in their favor.
The key to beating this system, to building that discipline we've been talking about, it all boils down to this single powerful number.
That's it. Seriously, by trading with only one contract, you completely change the game. You give yourself room to be wrong without blowing up, and you instantly take their high-leverage bait right off the table.
And this simple change neutralizes all of those psychological traps. Your risk is small, so the fear just subsides. You have wiggle room, so you can actually survive the market's volatility. This forces you to focus on the process, not chase the profit. And every single correctly executed trade, win or lose, builds real sustainable confidence.
So to wrap this all up, let's lock in the key takeaways. Impulsive trading is a character issue, not a strategy issue. You have to be aware of systems that are designed to exploit your impatience. And please remember, the path to true consistency is built on discipline, a ton of practice, and starting with just a single contract.
And that leaves us with the final question. The core message here is that failure isn't the end. It's the raw material for your success. But that's only if you make the conscious choice to stop burning things down and start building with logic, with patience, and with discipline.